So there was a free trial for Dune Awakening that was only available for 1 weekend. And obviously, I had to play it. So as many of you may know, Dune Awakening was released back in June. And it wasn't really on the top of my priority list. But for a few reasons, but nonetheless, I do believe that I have been proven wrong. So today, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I do like and some of the things that I don't like about the game. And yeah, this is just going to be a first impression review or video. So keep that in mind. This isn't a full review. And but who knows? Maybe it'll be useful for somebody that's on the fence about Dune Awakening. So yeah. So the premise is you crash land on Arrakis. You're sent here by, let's just say it's a deity or some sort of mother. Oh yeah, it's the Reverend Mother, I think. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure what she is. I'm not a huge Dune lore person, even though I feel like I would be if I dove into it. Well, it's your job to make your own way here, so to speak, and, find some spice. I mean, yes, I know the story is much deeper than that, but for the sake of spoilers, I'm just going to leave it at that. So, yeah, Dune, it literally looks like you're going to play the movie. Like, it's absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. The lighting, the sand, and the textures, it's just beautiful. The game is very pretty. The core gameplay loop is essentially exploring, collecting resources, building up your base, and progressing through the campaign. So you unlock new things to build and add to your base. It's pretty cool. Oh, and you're also a vampire, because the biggest source of water is by distilling blood from your enemies. Yes, there's a lot of water and blood, so drink up. The map is absolutely gigantic, and yes, there is a sandworm that you need to watch out for. I will say I think the sandworm isn't as scary as I initially thought, but we'll talk more on that later. I do think the amount of progression and materials in the game is a lot of fun and nice, because between exploring, collecting resources, and doing quests and following the campaign, unlocking new things to build and refining higher tiers of resources, it really keeps you engaged, especially when it starts to feel like you're getting some progression out of it. It's a nice engaging loop. It doesn't get boring. So let's talk about some pros. So I do think the resources in this game, it's incredibly abundant. It's not hard to find the resources that you need. Also, the resource nodes respond extremely quickly. I'm pretty sure I was able to harvest the same node 3 or 4 times in a single day, a single Dune day. The sandstorms are cool. The game gives you a warning when one is approaching. Usually you only have about a minute, but the most of the time, at least hopefully most of the time, you'll be able to find a shelter or something like that, like a cave, or hopefully you're close to your base. For me, I was close to my base most of the time. So you can ride out the storm, luckily, hopefully not get caught up in it. Because if you do get caught up in it, you'll die extremely quickly. It's very punishing. I do like that the only resource that you have to really worry about for your character anyway, in regards to survival, is water, which is super nice. I think they did a good job implementing that, and I'm really glad that I don't have to try to find food and cook it. It's kind of a nice fresh take, if I'm being honest. Some quality of life improvement things are if you deposit stuff in a storage container, if it's in your base, you can basically build from that storage container, so you don't have to take resources out of a container just to build something, which is super nice. A lot of games are implementing this nowadays, and I can't believe it's not something that's just been a thing. Like, it's just something that we're now thinking of. I mean, it really needs to be a standard nowadays, in my opinion. You shouldn't ever have to take stuff out of a container that's in your base to build something. All future games, please listen. The building in this game is a lot of fun from the beginning. You get a pretty nice wide variety of options to play around with, as well as unlocking more as you progress. But it's crazy to see some of the creations some people make. It's just crazy, some of the guilds that you will come across and see. You really can create whatever you want. Your imagination is the limit. So build that House Atreides fortress. Something I noticed more recently in building games is this holographic blueprint thing. So basically, whatever you're building, a wall, a floor, you basically put the blueprint down, and it can be filled in later by yourself or other players that are playing with you. Grounded 2 did this, and now Dune Awakening is doing this. And I think it is something that needs to be implemented in every single game. It should just be a standard nowadays as far as quality of life improvements. So, blueprint building and resource management, quality of life improvements just need to be standard, I think. I really like the vehicles in this game. Now, granted, I only got to drive the sand bike because that's all I was able to accomplish in my playthrough. I believe the playthrough was 10 hours, although for some reason I was able to play 12 hours. I don't know why, but everybody else that I saw online was talking about a 10-hour free trial. For some reason I got 12. I don't know why. But anyway, I know I probably could have gotten farther, but I like to take my time in games, so, I took my time. But the sand bike felt like it had weight to it. It felt good driving it, so I can pretty much imagine how the ornithopter will feel and fly. I'm sure it's great. So let's move on to some cons here. I'm really not a fan of the melee combat or the sword combat. Maybe it's just because I didn't choose the sword master skill line from the beginning, but in third-person type games that are similar to this game, I don't tend to like the melee combat anyway, so, I may be a little biased. So that's why I didn't choose it. But I really don't like it in Dune. Every time I came across a melee character that has a shield, I was kind of irritated by it because I would try to use my little sword, my little dagger, or shiv, or whatever it is, to slow attack and get past their shields, and it would work, but it took me a very long time to finally realize that I had to stun them to get that slow attack. And so, I don't know, it's just not my favorite thing. And I know there's weapons in the game through the progression of your tech tree that, make it easier. But I just really don't like it. And I get it, it's part of the lore with Dune. I've watched the first 2 Dune movies, the newer ones, and the old one a long time ago. But anyway, I get it. It's part of the lore, and it's cool. It is really cool. I'll give them that. They did a good job with it. I just don't like it. I'm not a fan. My personal opinion. Over time, I did effectively figure out how to conquer the melee enemies, but honestly, I'm still just not a fan of close combat in third-person shooter games. So, anyway, I don't necessarily know if this is a pro or a con. It probably depends on your outlook at the game in general, but I thought the sandworm, at least from my experience, wasn't that scary. At first, I didn't know what to expect, and so I was extremely cautious crossing in the open sand because I was worried the worm was going to come get me. And if I'm being honest, it wasn't that hard to avoid it. I mean, unless you're just dumb. But the only time that I felt like it was somewhat nerve-wracking was when I was crossing big open spaces of the sand. For example, when I would cross over to a different zone, but you were on a bike doing that anyway, so you were faster. Then, of course, the vibrations from the vehicle and all that jazz definitely summoned the worm towards you. I get it. They can't make the worm too powerful, otherwise it wouldn't be fun. But yeah, it's interesting. I guess I don't really know what to expect with the worm. I didn't know what to expect with the worm, I guess. But I like it. I've seen what the worm can do. I've seen videos on TikTok, and you lose absolutely everything. So yeah, if you get caught by the worm, it's pretty bad. But I don't know. I guess if I decide to buy this game, then I will really see what the worm can do when I go to the deep desert, because I've heard that's where it really gets crazy. So moving on here, I think the combat is all right. I think the AI is pretty mid. If I'm being honest, it's not super stupid and dumb, but it's not intelligent by any means. Yeah, I don't know. I think they could make the AI a little bit harder, except for the melee characters with shields. I just don't like the melee combat. But so for me, that's the difficult part. Yeah. Anyway, the verdict. The verdict is, well, if you enjoy exploration and crafting games along with a little third-person combat, then you'll probably really like this game. Especially if you have some friends to play with. I didn't have any friends that were playing at the time, but I can imagine how fun it would be, especially as you get towards the end game. I could see collaborating with friends in a guild and venturing off into the deep desert being incredibly fun. Is this game a buy? Yes, it is definitely a buy. I think it is a solid buy. They've already released a roadmap going through some future updates that they are going to be implementing, and it looks pretty promising. The first DLC announcement has come out, and it looks pretty good. I think this game is going to get some good attention for a while from the developers. So yeah, that is my first impression of Dune Awakening. I will most likely be buying this game. I'm putting some more time into it because the free trial has definitely sold me. I want to know what you guys think. Did you guys play the free trial? Did you see it when it popped up? Have you owned the game since launch? Let me know in the comments below, and If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.